My name is Sheree and my business is TravelBug Baby Equipment Rentals. It was launched in July of 2013, and TravelBug Baby provides baby equipment rentals to families who are traveling to Toronto. So this would include strollers, car seats, portable cribs, pretty much anything you need when you're traveling. We make family travel accessible. Before I started TravelBug Baby, I was working in the nonprofit community, and I was working to help strengthen communities. So I was a project manager, and I was providing access to educational programs. Well, I had moved to Newfoundland with my husband for 2 years, and he's entrepreneurial, and he started as a teacher. He took the summer off, and he took a sabbatical for this 2-year period, and he decided he wanted to start a bakery, so I went with him. And while we were in Newfoundland, we did end up, becoming pregnant, and we had lost a pregnancy. And because there's a lack of access to specialists, we moved back to Toronto sooner. And when I returned to Toronto, the job market had really changed. There were fewer jobs in my industry. And so at that point, I had become pregnant again, and so I decided that I was going to start a business. And it really came about because when we were traveling back to Newfoundland during the summer, as we do, to our cabin, and my son had been born. He was very little, and I had pretty much just essentially packed up the whole van, filled it with baby equipment, all the things that I would need for a month's stay. And it took me about a week just to not just plan but also pack, which was insane and exhausting at the same time. And then when it came time to leave, can you imagine, I want you to picture this, there I was waving to my husband as he drove away because there wasn't enough room for my son and myself, so we had to fly out. So, and I didn't even know if that equipment, we were going to be able to use it the next summer. So I thought, this is crazy, I need to do something. And because there were fewer jobs in my industry, I thought, you know what, I think I'm going to look at starting my own business. And then it was on the drive home, because we left it at the cabin, and as we're driving home, I said, I think I'm going to look into baby equipment rentals, because that's a great idea. Like, why bring all this equipment with you if you could just rent it? And so that's when I started doing my research, and I thought this is an idea that could really work, especially for Toronto, because we have so many travelers who are coming in. In terms of how it really helped me, I think it was on 2 levels. So the first one is it helped to prepare me to be a better entrepreneur and better prepared when I launched my business. And the second thing was that it helped me to be a better mompreneur. And so as a mompreneur, I'm running a business, but I'm also raising my child because he's not in daycare. He's with me. So even during my first year, when I was doing my deliveries, Declan would come with me. So he was 3 years old. And so I had to learn how to really balance my work as well as my baby. And the one way that Toronto Business Development Centre really helped make that possible is they also, provided me with daycare when I was in the training program. So that's something I wouldn't have been able to do. I would not have been able to go to a training program and financially provide the funds for that. And so they really did make it accessible to a mom who wanted to start a business. And it wasn't just the finances, it was also the support. And that was really a valuable and important experience, not just for me, but for my little guy as well. Something that I'm particularly proud of would be that I've been able to launch a family-first business. So by that I mean I've been able to successfully involve my son in the business. And so while I would not consider that balance from a life-work perspective, I've been able to really involve him to a point where I can manage both. The advice I like to give other entrepreneurs is to never give up and never give in. You're going to certainly experience the highs and lows of running a business, and it's not always great, and you are working around the clock. And so there are going to be times where you just feel like throwing the towel, or you're going to be questioning yourself, and that's okay. But you will get out of it. And so you just have to constantly remind yourself that you've got to weather the storm, you got to get through it, surround yourself with people who are supporting you, and keep going, because it's worth it. For mompreneurs out there, for new moms or moms who want to start a business, it is absolutely possible. And one thing that you have to keep in mind when you have children at home and you're running a business is that your business is going to develop slower. And it sort of mirrors the development stage that your child's at. And so you want to be mindful of that. So when they're really young, you may not achieve as much as you hoped or how much you did before you had children. And you've got to see that as being a normal progression for your business.